So it was at or around the Georgia-Louisiana border while we were driving. And I believe I was riding passenger at the time. And off to our right, this was sometime after we had passed the Peach. And I think we were getting close to Louisiana. Off in a field, in the sky above the field, appeared dozens, I would say around 12 to 15, a dozen or so, metallic spheres that appeared to be drone-like. They were flying in formation, shifting positions. It was a very surreal, again, remember, this was 1995. There was no widely available drone technology at that time. They came out of the clouds, and in retrospect, I would think it would be the type of device that would probably make crop circles. And maybe that's what they were doing. These spheres looked mechanical, but at the same time, they had a otherworldly quality about them. I'm not sure what it was, just maybe the fact that I had never seen anything like it before and didn't know of anything like that existing. I would estimate their size to be about that of they appeared to be about the size of a microwave oven. But estimating the distance was about 300 meters away, so they could have been larger than that. Slightly larger, spherical in shape, appeared to be made of a metallic cage with maybe some sort of device at the center of ring-like, metallic ring-like, metallic rings in a circle with a device in the center like a gyroscope, but couldn't see from that distance. Almost as if there was a engine of some sort mounted, and they were flying. There was no apparent means of propulsion at all. So could they have been magnetically powered? I don't know. But they came out of the clouds, and I turned to my friend Bratcher and I said, "What the fuck is that? Look at that." And he doesn't have, at the time, probably still, but he wore very thick glasses and didn't have very good vision. But he's driving the car and he looks over and he says, "I don't know." And I said, "Can you see those orbs, those circles descending in the field?" And they came down from probably several hundred feet in the sky and then descended down into the field and were doing geometric patterns, and they were headed out across the field. Speed was not very fast, appeared as if they were floating. All the while, the mechanical like nature of the devices is turning, and no spinning, just turning, slow turning. And they glided off across the field as we drove by. We didn't stop, we just head on our way. And he said, who, you know, fucking, he wasn't interested in it really. And I thought, hey, those were some kind of fucking UFO. Those were some kind of UFOs we just saw. And I was definitely psychologically affected by it. But he either didn't get a good look or didn't see it. Yeah, probably didn't see them clearly. I know that he saw them. And so I sat down and described to him what I thought they looked like. And he said, oh, when we get to the hotel, you should probably sit down and draw it. But one thing led to another, and I did not document it at the time. The time in New Orleans turned into drinking black and tans at the bar, going to occult bookstores, picking up our robes, and so on and so forth, and the topic never came up again. There was some time dilation because it went from that event to us being in New Orleans without much time passing between the two. I know we stopped for a burger at one point, but it seemed as if there was a big time gap from witnessing that till when my next memories started occurring again of a couple of different bars we went in. We played some pool. I have memories from the Clothier where we bought our robes. I have memories from a couple of different occult bookstores we went in. We went into I remember a jewelry shop in French Quarter. I remember the architecture in French Quarter. I remember a girl I met there. All of these things I remember. Next type of UFO encounter that I had was, I don't know if it's the next chronologically, but the next I'm thinking about is I was here in Beijing and I was going to a location for a theatrical improv workshop. Now, the year must have been around 2008 or 2009. It was winter because I was wearing a thick coat, and the winters in Beijing can be very harsh. Strong polar winds that can freeze you to the bone in a matter of minutes. And so I don't like to be outside walking around very long in Beijing winters. I was walking along Gulou Dajie. It's the name of a street. Gulou means drum tower. Now, the drum and bell tower, there's two towers with a large courtyard in the center, and the towers are about 30 meters tall. One has a large drum in it, and the one to the north, the one in the south, has a large drum, Gulou, and the one to the north of that has a large bell in it, Linglo. And I believe that's the name of the bell tower. Everyone just calls that area Gulou, drum tower. But in English, it's known as the drum and bell towers. Now, there are ghost stories around those towers, to be sure. And they don't allow much tourism of the towers. But I believe they're open periodically, seasonally, during daylight hours. this was late at night. The improv class started like 10 p.m. and ran till midnight. So it's a kind of adult, drink a couple of beers and enjoy some theater sport type of thing. I was a regular at the Beijing improv class, and I always went alone. I'm a lone wolf type of character, and I do most of my gallivanting solamente. So I was going to that class, and here's what occurred. A series of fiery orbs appeared in the sky as if it was a ball of flaming plasma. And I looked up and I thought at first that it was a firework, or that it was possibly a flaming ball of paraffin. They have a kind of novelty item here in China that's called a donglong, and it's a big, like, how do I describe? Let's see. It's about the size of a soap bar, a bar of soap, of paraffin, and it's on a wire frame with a kind of paper lantern above it, a hot air balloon type thing. And you unfurl the balloon and write a wish on it with, you're supposed to use a Chinese brush pen, but you write a wish on it in Chinese or a riddle, and then you light the ball of flammable paraffin underneath, and it flames like a candle, and the hot air fills the lantern and it floats up into the sky. I actually have some in my car. I think